What's happening, everybody? It's Dave DK Mode 83. I am back with another fragrance review for you. And this time I'm talking about yet another niche fragrance. Don't worry, I don't dislike designers, and I will get into a bunch of designer reviews soon. I just wanted to talk about this house because it is related to Parfums de Marly, and I think it's a house that and a fragrance that needs to be talked about a little more. So this is an underrated one from the house of Initio, and this is called Mystic Experience. You can see there. I do have the percentage version, so I believe this is the reformulated version, but it doesn't matter really. Now, the reason I got into this fragrance originally, and part of I think why I like it is considered an alternative by a lot of people to Black Afgano. I'll get into what it actually smells like. Are these similar, and what are the notes like? So let's dig in. What's actually in this 2015 release? We have sandalwood, amber, coffee, musk, and oakmoss. No top, middle, base, and makes sense in this one. We have a top of cannabis and green notes. In the mid, you have resins, woody notes, tobacco, and coffee. And in the base, oud and incense. So a lot more dark notes in this. Nothing sweet like amber. And really the only note that's the same is coffee. So do these smell the same? No. They have a vibe that's similar, though, and I'll get into that. I think that, for me, is coffee and sandalwood, because this has a very unique coffee note in it, and the woodsy notes, to me, I get sandalwood. I get a creamy wood in there supporting the earthy and dark resins and incense that are in this fragrance. This fragrance is much darker, much more masculine than Mystic Experience, and it doesn't have any sweetness or kind of balancing notes that are bringing it back from that really dark vibe that you get with it. Now, that said, this is one of my wife's favorite fragrances on me, which is something that shocks me still to this day. She adores this stuff, and I'm already on to another bottle of it. So that's part of the reason I went in with Mystic Experience, is because my wife likes it on me, so I wanted another alternative, and I do think this one is worth owning as well. So let's get it on the skin and see what it's like. So, nice little sprayer, not quite as good as the Parfums de Marly, but still solid. So right away you get a big blast of very simple ingredients: sandalwood, amber, and musk. And this is where I think you're getting that comparison to Black Afgano is in the opening, because you're getting an unusual coffee note that is balancing that out. It's not a very strong coffee note, but the coffee with the woods and just the way it's blended and balanced does have a similar vibe to Black Afgano. I don't think they smell the same, and if you actually get your nose to them and actually take a good whiff, you will agree. But if you catch like a cursory whiff of it at the top, I could see why someone would think without a trained nose, someone would definitely think that they are similar. And don't get me wrong, they have similar vibes, but I do not think they smell the same at all. Black Afgano, much more masculine and dark. Mystic Experience, far more unisex. Still, I think a masculine fragrance overall, but definitely a lot less masculine and wearable by women, in my opinion. The reason I think for that is the amber and musk. So, amber can be a pretty sweet, dusty note, and the musk tends to be one that, while is used regularly in men's perfume, it's more commonly used in women's nowadays. I think that's part of what is allowing it to become a softer, more rounded experience instead of just all out. And that's what Black Afgano is. There's no like I keep saying, there's nothing sweetening it up. There is in this, and the blend of it is fantastic. It's a beautiful fragrance. It is a lot sweeter than Black Afgano, and it is a lot muskier than Black Afgano. I know I'm just listing notes, but that is what it smells like. So if Black Afgano was too much for you and you wanted some sweetness, you wanted it toned down, I would really recommend giving Mystic Experience a try, because to me it does have that same vibe. It's just sweetened up and musked up, to the point that it's a lot more versatile and a lot more wearable. So I said that my wife loves Black Afgano. What does she think of Mystic Experience? She also loves this one, but not as much. And the reason for that being is it doesn't project it quite as well. And for some reason, something about the makeup of Black Afgano on my skin, even though it doesn't have a sweet note, she gets a big dose of vanilla in it. And for some reason, the combination of that with that darkness, I don't know what it is, how it works, but for her, it's just magic. And for me, it's magic. I think it's a fantastic fragrance, and I love that there's something so dark that my wife will allow me to wear, because it just is what it is. You know, sometimes you wear things for you, but you also have to live around the people you love. So I think Mystic Experience is a fantastic release that's probably not talked about nearly enough, frankly. Let's get into the ratings, and maybe we can see why. So, scent, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think the blend is very well done. I think it is possibly inspired Black Afgano, but it goes off in its own direction to a tried and true formula of sandalwood, amber, and musk, with just a little bit of coffee and oakmoss, making it still unique. That said, you can find a lot of fragrances that have a dry down that's somewhat similar to this, because that is a tried and true way of going about things. So I still think it's worth owning. I'm very happy to have it in my collection, and the longevity is actually still pretty good. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I get between 7 and 10 hours with it, but the projection's not great. It does become more of a skin scent after that first couple of hours. That's not uncommon with a fragrance that has that makeup, but it is a little bit disappointing with an Initio product. I mean, there is only 17% fragrance in there, so I guess that's not shocking, but compared to Black Afgano, where you're getting between 16 and 24 hours, it's a pretty big difference on the longevity and projection, where projection, I gave that one, I believe, a 10 out of 10, and this is a 7 out of 10. So you can see there is quite a big difference. I know I kind of got a little tangent ADHD there. Sorry about that, everybody. That tends to happen with me from time to time. So I think the projection on this, way better. Longevity, way better than here. But that's okay. I mean, can be a little bit beastly, and a little goes a long way. I wear 1 spray when I wear this. I wear 4 sprays when I wear this. So, you know, there's also like 3 times the amount of juice in this bottle, so I can get away with that, and I'm okay with that. So, bottle packaging, I'm actually gonna get a 9.5 out of 10. I think this bottle is gorgeous. I really like the simplicity, the all black, but just the detail of the triangle. It does it for me. I like it. Versatility. So this is where this one's gonna be a lot better than Black Afgano. I don't think this is a summer fragrance. I just don't. It's too woodsy, too sweet with the amber, just too much. It's going to be too cloying in the summer. I think it's a perfect fall, winter, spring fragrance, I would say. Better for date nights. I think it's going to be more intimate. Not necessarily an office scent in my opinion, but you could go there. I think this is going to be more something you wear on a date, or like to a wedding or something like that. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 versatility, because I do think it's pretty versatile compared to Black Afgano, but it's not the most versatile fragrance out there. So what am I going to give this overall? I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, which I know sounds lower than what I was talking about, but it is a fantastic fragrance. It just suffers from a little bit of performance issues. If it had better longevity and projection, it would be well over a 9 for me, because the scent, for me, and the blend of it is fantastic. I never thought I would want a sweeter version of Black Afgano, but I didn't know I needed it, and I'm glad I have it. So I highly recommend you get your nose on Mystic Experience from Initio. I think it's an underrated fragrance, and I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by. Please click like and subscribe down below if you liked what you saw. Thanks.